I see the business in a sense where the holds and the fundamental stuff's all important, but they're just one component. And I think I was telling you before, it's a little bit, I liken it a bit to ABCs. The holds are sort of like A's and B's and C's, and then you put those together into words, and then into sentences, and then into paragraphs, and ultimately tell a story.
Wrestling matches are stories. They are not moves. The moves are the words. And if you have a bunch of big words, it doesn't make a sentence. It doesn't make a story. I can tell you a terrible, stupid story with a whole bunch of big words. That every second word is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I can also tell you a great story with a whole bunch of one-syllable then, if, by, hurt.
And to tell a story, you have to know more than just holds. You have to have a sense of psychology and timing and plot development and interaction with the guy you're working with, an ability to compel the crowd and interact with them. And the two major components of a great worker, I was told, and I probably believe it more so than ever now, is the convincing sell and the hot ass-kicking comeback. Mm-hmm. And all the other shit's almost incidental. You know, you can do a million high spots, but if you do just one at the right time, it means more than 20.
Come on! Now! Now! Now!
More isn't better. If it takes you 20 moves to come close to pinning a guy, and then Steve Austin gives a guy one stunner. Like, you know how the mindset is. I had that fucked up mentality when I was a young headbanger, wanted to do all the high spots, and I had some pretty wild stuff. And you know, I'd come up to these old veterans and say, you know, I got all these spots I want to run by you, and and I always thought, like, fuck you, I'm going to tell my dad, you know, he's the promoter. That mentality, like, you know, I want you to do these spots with me. And later on, when I became a booker and all like that, I realized that was so stupid, you know. It's like, it's all fine and dandy, but you don't need that many. It's just doing it at the right time.
You like to see a good, serious, hard-fought match, and like if you see two dogs playing with each other on the lawn, rolling around, just kind of play fighting, you know, playing, it's not interesting. But if you have two targets that are going after each other, the sparks are flying, and they're heavy checking, get a bull terrier maybe on another one, they got him by the throat, and they choke the life out of them. You know, you're watching it like it was, your eyes are fixed on it.
When you get in the ring, you got to respect your opponent. You got to keep your eye on him. You got to be wary of him. When you lock up, you have to jockey for that headlock. Don't be stiff, but you got to jockey for that headlock. Once you get that headlock, you got to stick with it and have the guy think about it and work his way to get out of it. Not only are you wearing down the head, which can be an interesting part of the story later in the match if you choose to be a competent wrestler, through those inflections you get to see what kind of people they are. When you're in that headlock, if the guy being controlled is the heel, you see him try different, pulling the hair and things to try and escape it, go into the ropes, and by the time the temperature goes up a little bit and the tempo starts to rise, you know who you like, and it's not because you're sitting there going, who will I cheer for? You're going, get him off the ropes. Come on, this guy's showing some class here. This guy's showing some skill, you know? The other guy just cheats to try and take advantage. People will react to that, and that's heat right there.
A good wrestling match it's got to have a lot of things. You want to see things that that are impressive, and you want to see what's you believe is legitimate.
You go to a movie And and the guy playing, it's Rocky, and Sylvester Stallone shows up with a big pot belly and no arms. Are people going to believe him because of his power of acting? No. So if you go to a wrestling show and you're a small, skinny little white kid, and even if you're the best wrestler in the world and your selling's awesome and you're not doing too many high spots, are they going to buy it? No. So make sure you get your tan, you get your look, and you get your boots and get your gear, so you look like you're ready to walk on Raw tomorrow.
Big part of fitness in the ring is thinking. Like you see guys like Ric Flair and Kurt Hennig and some of those guys, and they're not necessarily ready for triathlons or whatever, but they're excellent at understanding pace and timing, so they can go out and have a 60-minute match and give you the perception that they're going through this grueling ass-kicking pace, and it's more because they know how to take the crowd and bring them down and rest and build it up again. And so a lot of it's just timing and psychology. It's part of being a kind of a narrow-minded youth type. We think it's all just high spots. I had the same mindset when I was a young headbanger. That, I'd go into all these high spots, and if I could get somebody to dance with me and move for move, I'd get a few guys saying, "Awesome match," the kids stole the show, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
So I thought, geez, you start getting a bit of a big head. But after a while, I realized I wasn't really incorporating any sense of timing or psychology or interaction with the crowd.